everyone. Thank you for being so patient with me. Oh, I feel so bad. It's Thursday. It's not Wednesday. And it's definitely not Tuesday either. So this is not the first move. It's more like the second or third. So appreciate everyone for hopping on, who is going to be joining now, who's going to see this on replay. And honestly, everyone that is still coming into the community little by little, welcome. I am Jasmine, and this is Be Unique. Just so you know, nighttime is definitely more of a comfy, cozy vibe. I don't ever get dressed up. I'm not one of those people, especially for lives. That is not important to me at all whatsoever. If anything, I am freezing today, and you will see right now, I am in a long sleeve shirt. I am wearing a hooded sweatshirt right over it, and I have like sweatpants on and a cozy blanket because it's the evening and it's wind down time, and I feel like nighttime should be one of those times where everyone's getting comfy and cozy and able to unwind together and honestly talk about some things that people have really wanted to know and haven't had time to talk about, or might just randomly be thinking and come up with as we go. So let's get started. First, water, because I definitely talk a lot. I have a different setup going today. So I'm actually streaming this from my phone, and right over here in front of me, I have my laptop. Reason why I did that was I wanted to see if the view is any different, and also what exactly the view was like for you guys. So if there's something that needs to be done different, that's what I'm doing. If not, we're going to keep going this way, and we're going to keep adding as we go as well. Because I think so far, honestly, so good. And I'm one of those people that like, I don't want to change it if it's working right now. So I'm going to keep it on two different areas. Two views of me is actually a little weird. So I'm going to try not to pay attention to the one on the bottom at all. And also have my view up over here so that if there's any questions, comments, you guys want to talk about anything specific, throw it on in the chat. You want to say hello, you want to wave, throw those emojis in there as we go, feel free to do that. That's how I know you're there. And I'm not just talking to myself like a typical adult, because we all have those moments too. And honestly, how can people blame us at this point in life? So let's get started with our journey. We've kind of dug deep into things already, and a lot of people have gotten to know me on a lot of different levels. So point of doing that was to show you that everybody has breaking moments. Everybody has moments where they are vulnerable. And it's really important that a lot of people understand that when these moments occur, you're not alone and you're not by yourself, and you shouldn't be made to feel like you're by yourself, or if you don't contest to whatever's going on, that you will be by yourself, because there's a whole community out there for everybody in every platform on every topic you could name and possibly even like think of. So what makes me different, right? What makes me different from anyone else that's coming on here? Well, I like to change. I actually love to change. In fact, I don't even call it change anymore. I call it transform. And if you heard some of my earlier videos, it's more of like a transmuting, because a lot of my past was operations background, stuff where I had to look at systems and processes and see what was working, what wasn't working, and kind of go in and retweak them. But one of the best things about doing stuff like that, and one of the best things about being someone like me, is I've always had a very artistic eye, and I've always loved art. Thank you so much. I don't feel that way right now, but thank you so much for the compliment. I'm actually, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I had like a wicked cold sore over here all last week, and it's been driving me crazy. So I'm in the process of healing that too. So it does bring a confidence level down sometimes, especially when you're going out and about. I don't know if you guys get them or you know what it's like to have that type of stuff going on, but it's one of those things that I wish I didn't have to deal with all the time. But I carry stress in my back, my neck, and sometimes if I'm holding on to a lot of it, it will come out in other ways, i.e. a cold sore or something like that. So very real, very human. And it's a good kind of stress. It's not even a bad kind of stress. And again, that happens too, right? Life. Everyone has good days. They have bad days. They have good stress and they have bad stress. But when you start to have so much bad stress and you can't appreciate the good times, that's where there's an issue. Because like I bring up so many times and I'm going to continue to talk about, duality is extremely important, right? So being able to know what dark is like is extremely important so you understand what light is like. Knowing what sadness is like is important to recognize and feel, because then you can feel and recognize joy, happiness, and so on and so forth. I'm not here to talk about feelings and emotions. I'm here to tell you about what makes me unique and why I thought building this community and getting everyone together little by little by little was going to help you. So, through my journey, you know, my only 10 years here at life. No, I'm just kidding. Through the last 40 years practically, which it's very weird to say that, but yes, 40 years, I've accumulated a lot of things. A lot of knowledge, a lot of tendencies, some that were environmentally, some that were more nurturistic, some that were a combination of both, to be honest. The definition for everyone is going to be different as to what resonates with you, but you have to know yourself. When you lose that part of you, that spark, that's where we're off balance. That's where we're off kilter. Your body ends up telling you a lot more than sometimes your head or your heart does. And it's kind of scary, right? Because you think like, oh my gosh, I know everything. I can control everything. I know myself so well, actually, that I can say yes and no accordingly, right? Almost like the game Red Light, Green Light. Yes, no, come. Like, not everyone can do that. And some people lose their control easy. Some people like to gain control too much. Some people don't know how to balance control, and it leads to a lot of other really maladaptive behaviors or malicious intent. Sometimes kid bullies don't ever grow up and they become adult bullies. Sometimes people change because of life circumstances and don't necessarily know how to unlearn things and relearn what they need to, right? We're continuous learners over here. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's learning every day. In fact, I think it's really interesting that when we have kids, whenever you start having kids, and some people, I'm going to make this an everyone thing, even if you don't have kids, when you start to hit the point of maturing and not doing those reckless things, those things that were more about you versus everyone else, you and your wants and needs versus the world and what could help the world and make it better and really turn it into a place where you'd want to stay in and have kids in and really share with other people. In order to do those things, that's where integrity comes in. That's where authenticity comes in. That's where being real comes in. And that's where knowing when to ask for help comes in. Because I consider everyone with my artistic eye, like we're talking about from before, as works of art. And it's not to be cheesy or anything like that. I really do genuinely love people and I see the beauty in everybody. So I know there can be some confusion with that statement, and some people are like, oh my gosh, well, how can you find beauty in an awful situation like blah, and then you just throw out something really like harmful, right? Put anything in there. It could be illness, it could be something else unfortunate. I get it. I completely understand. Everything goes back to emotional education. Everything goes back to foundation. Everything goes back to processing and understanding. So I find that in my 40 years so far, not enough people seek to understand in the world. Everyone is judgy. That's fine. You're supposed to be judgy. It's life. Ta-da! What's not supposed to be happening, though, is the judgments become so big that they become comparisons, that they become core beliefs, that they turn into something that fuels you and you run off of and it takes over, versus who you truly are, and that push and pull balance we were talking about before, about unlearning pre-existing behaviors and relearning based on who you're going to transform and transmute into, right? And notice how I point up, because when you're growing, when you're transforming, when you're transmuting energy, when you're, I love this word, and I'm going to take it from my cousin because she said this to me. When you're focused on, hey Veronica, when you're focused on being a vibe for people and creating an atmosphere that's a vibe that is warm and comfy and loving, you're not concerned about taking a judgment that could even be a pre-existing one and pushing it towards someone else, or deflecting it to the other person because I want to see you win with me. So I'm going to do everything in my power to make you win with me. What I'm not going to do is do anything to push you to the side and make you feel like you're less than for whatever reason, because that's not what I've done ever in my life. That's not what I want to do. And that's not what I feel that would actually be the best for anybody that's going through any part of daily life nowadays, because the world is judgy enough and cruel enough. We don't need to add it. We need to be able to recognize, hey, I'm feeling this. Hey, I'm not sure why it's sitting with me this way, but instead of judging, instead of seeing how you can one-up somebody, instead of figuring out how your name could go there first, figure out and understand what it is that makes that person or that thing or whatever it is that you're idolizing at that time so special, and collaborate and work with them. That is the goal. That's success. That is what Stephanie said before, fixing each other's crowns, because you don't need to know it's crooked for me to come along and zhuzh it up for you. You don't need me to put my name on it in order for you to feel the effects of hanging out with me and me giving you ideas to move forward with. You don't need to hide behind any type of unnecessary emotion that makes you feel physically ill just because the show is better. Why? We're all real. In fact, I think I've created some of my best content by being just 100% myself, fast, 1, 2, 3, instead of the ones that I swore I put all this time and energy into and was like trying my best to do this, this, and that. You don't do that. It's not real. It's not relatable. You want to be genuine 100% and make it easy, because that's what life is supposed to be. Bye, Jen. Thanks. Have fun there. I think it's really important that a lot of people realize nowadays that you can have traumas and they can turn into something beautiful. You can learn coping skills and they can be adapted to and picked up on and shared with at any time, at any age. There is nobody that has the right to control another human being. Doesn't matter if I gave birth to them or not. It doesn't happen. That's not life. The goal, and speaking as a parent, my goal for my kids is to raise them to the best of my ability, for them to be good humans, not to be popular all through elementary school, not to be the coolest person and say the best things about this, and that. No, like to be genuine good humans. And honestly, unfortunately, good humans go through a lot of crappy situations in order to shape and shift them into that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. What there's a problem with, though, and I'm going to go back to it, is people feeling like they're alone when they go through things in life, because nobody's ever alone. There's always community there. And if there's not, we can create a sense of community. Balance, everyone. Balance. What's feeding you more? Is it good or bad? Is it positive or negative thoughts? And what needs to be changed or tweaked accordingly? And then you come and work with me if you need to. And this could even be before I'm licensed. I purposely have some things on my Linktree that will give you access to me in a variety of forms, because I don't feel as though everyone should have one way to get in touch with me and that's it, and it suits everyone's life. It's unrealistic. It's not possible, right? Everyone has a different type of life. Everyone has a different type of communication style. And quite frankly, everyone's comfortable at different levels with different things. So, kind of going back to what I was saying before, needs that are required when you feel alone, that's what my Linktree is for. Times that you want to connect and feel like a community-based connection is not sufficient and you need something a little bit more personalized, that's what it's for. You can message me on there. No charge, everyone. I'm not like one of those people saying, oh my God, every time you get in touch with me, you better pay me. No, it's not like that. I am 100% free of service. The only difference is, and you will see it on my Linktree as well, if you want to book time live with me. So up close and personal, what we're doing right now, and by sessions. And that's if, hey Jazz, I need help with this situation. I'm really struggling. You know, I talked to my husband or I talked to my wife and, you know, it's still not sitting with me, or I don't feel comfortable enough to go to a counselor yet. What do you think? Or just simple, I need someone to talk to and help me through X, Y, and Z situation. That's what it's for. A separate area for that. Not going to go away. It's going to get spoken about more and more, because as I move forward in my journey and as I move forward in my training, my goal is to keep myself as available to everyone as possible for any type of situation that's needed. Now, I'm not on call and I'm not a therapist yet. I am training, and that is a big difference, everyone. So I am in my second year right now at Centenary University, just so everyone knows. And I start my internship this fall. So I am super excited about that. And once I start my internship, I will be upfront with the patients, talking to them, training, have a supervisor over me, and then keep moving on from there. Very exciting stuff. Now, back to this. In addition to very exciting, I know you guys have been seeing some posts in there about me working on some stuff. Well, true to my nature, I can never sit still. My brain goes 1,000 miles a minute, and I work in a lot of different directions fairly quickly. So, coming to you very soon, we're going to have 2 new collaborations. So we're not just going to be having what you see on my Linktree now, which is the journal. And love the journal. It's staying on there. You can either get your own or you can get a guided one, whatever's easy breezy for you. I'm going to add on an additional set of people that I'm going to be collabing with to enhance the experience. Very exciting. Not going to tell you exactly what the items are and who the people are yet, but just know it's coming down the pike and you will love it. Idea behind my collabs is I will only work with people, and I said this in one of my first videos, that I feel that I would either use, have used, or they're items that I would either personally use right now, feel that would be beneficial for you guys, or like I said, truly believe in them because there's a value there. So none of this stuff where like anyone that reaches out to me, it's just going to automatically be a collaboration and they pop up on Jasmine's Linktree. Nope. These are hand-picked people that I believe in so much, some from the community, actually all from the community realistically, but literally like I'm online and I'm on almost every morning combing through the community looking for talent and things that I feel that would work with my vibe and really be unique. 2 more coming on. That's super exciting. That's going to be there soon. And I'm also going to be joining every single Sunday, best of my ability. I'm going to cross my fingers. Amy, if you're watching this, I'm going to be joining Amy Arvary on her, I don't know what she calls them, but she's a clinical hypnotherapist and she does sessions every Sunday at 7 p.m. virtually. And it's really just a time for you to sit back, relax, be with community, but also be comfy, cozy, and feed your mind with positive thoughts. Have like-minded people in a community again, and really see what it's like to let go. So Amy is going to be the best one to tell you about clinical hypnotherapy and everything it's about. If you guys are really interested and you can't wait for me to post about the Sunday thing, which I will post about, feel free to look her up. She's one of my friends on here, and she also has her own page and a bunch of work. She's written books. She's done lots of live engagement. She works with lots of different groups. She is honestly amazing, and I'm not saying that because I'm going to be there on Sunday virtually. I'm saying this because I believe in her, and she was one of those people that I connected with the moment I met. Almost 2 years ago now, I want to say, which is actually really interesting when I think about that. A little over a year at this point, year and a half or something. So I followed her. I've looked at some of the stuff. I believe in it. I've worked with her throughout. I mean, I really feel as though if there's a value there, I'm going to send it to you as well. So completely free of charge. It'll be Sundays at 7. I will pass along the information on my page, and you guys are free to join. Whoever, bring people to your little get together. Come on that thing and say like, hey, I just want you to hear what it's about. And if you like it, it's amazing, and you have another avenue to work with. If you don't, what did you do? Kill 20 minutes of your life listening to some positive stuff? I mean, my gosh, I could think of ways to spend my time that are way worse than that. So that's a gift to you guys, definitely. And some of the other things that are going to be coming up too is I believe that everyone needs to have a safe place in their lives. And some people, unfortunately, don't have homes that they feel safe in. And some people have to look within to get some type of safety. So I kind of refer to it as safety in the silence. So for those moments, I think it's really important to expand the community a little bit further. So some of the stuff that I really want to start doing and offering and sharing with you guys is I want you guys to be seeing the adult coloring more. I want you to interact more. I want to do the diamond work. I want to do some more things that are hands-on that get everyone a little bit more engaged and talking instead of just seeing and reacting, because we're going to know our reactions really well after a while, but creating the content and having those meaningful conversations are way more important, so that if there is a moment, not like right now during my live, but a moment where you are sitting in silence by yourself and you need safety, you know exactly what that looks like and how to get it. So, very important keys. I'm looking at some other notes that I have written down over here. And I want to talk about some coping skills, because people have heard me on here oftentimes talk about a lot of things that have happened, but not necessarily what has been done to cope with them outside of the communication, the community, and some cool things that I'm sending to you guys soon. There's oftentimes you see people in the world where they'll freeze up, or they'll act a certain way that's not characteristically them, or something sparks back a jolt, a trigger, a mindset shift where that silence in the safety, or safety in the silence, safety in the silence, or safety in general isn't attainable anymore. Triggers when you've gone through trauma experiences, and again, it doesn't have to be one specific experience. It could be complex and built and a bunch of different things, show up in the most inconvenient ways. And I will tell you that firsthand. Anyone I've spoken to, myself, you ask someone who's gone through something and triggers, they know the word very well, and it's not because they want to. So, sights, smells, memories, sounds, all of these are unknowns. These are the unknowns. You never know when, where, how they're going to hit and come up. So these are the things that you're going to work with in the community on. You're going to say, hey, okay, I know I suffer from panic attacks, but what exactly is it that's triggering my panic attack? Let's go ahead and bring it back this way. Let's see what's in the community about it. Let's create a safe space and talk about it. Let's do this or let's do that. Everyone's going to have something different, and everyone's going to have a value to offer to everyone else. This is huge. This is where community does way more than one single person, and why I feel that me putting myself out there and being transparent is so much better than sitting in silence and quiet about things that majority of the people in the world deal with on a daily basis. So why hide? Why sit in silence and suffer when we can have some safety in the silence, i.e., coping skills? And coping skills look different to everybody. So some coping skills that have worked for me, and I'll be very transparent with them, is I'm a very, very big sense person. So right there, how we talked about triggers being sights, smells, memories, sounds. First one that jumps out to me, smells. I can smell something and automatically just be disgusted, like the biggest aversion you've ever seen. Sometimes I know why, sometimes I don't. But take that and flip it with the mindset that I tell everyone majority of the time, and use that. Use it as a coping skill. That's what I did, and it worked so beautifully. So sense, positive sense, sense that I love, like very good sense, I use them all the time. I have the best smelling air fresheners. I have these automatic things. I love incenses. I love candles. I am very big on perfumes, and not like smelly perfumes, like the light perfumes that can kind of like dissipate very fast. I've used the ability to take something that had been so hard, so difficult, so crippling, and recognize that that trigger in and of itself can actually be a coping skill. So taking and flipping the script, like I like to call it in a lot of my things, and yes, I know I do this a lot, because remember, we all go up, everybody. We don't go down, we go up. No matter where we are, we go up. So that's some of the stuff that you're going to realize with working with me and the group. You need to be comforted. You need to understand community. You need to be able, and I say you, meaning everybody. It's not just like you, I'm talking to you. Even though you want to answer back in here, sure, I'll talk to you as well. You need to know how to be strong mentally, and then you can be strong physically. I'm going to reach out to probably some of my friends. I want to reach out to some of my most physically fit friends and talk to them about their mental strength as well, because in those moments, those few moments where you don't think you can do something and then you do it, that's your mental strength. You're getting stronger little by little. People running every minute towards the end. What can I do? Can I get through it? Can I get through it? And then they get through it, and it's that sense of accomplishment. Pain, persistence, accomplishment. Everyone is going to have that same type of cycle. What works to help you cope through it, to get somewhere that is really negative to somewhere really positive? And that's what the group is here for as well. So I'll be bringing up some of those things some more, and we'll go through some of the movies that are a little bit more comforting. What I typically think in terms of body movements for strengthening, because I do have some notes in here for body movements for strengthening as well. I will tell you first and foremost, I don't love exercising. I will exercise because I also don't love the alternative to not exercising. But I hate, like, physically don't have a good relationship with working out. I don't like it, never have, and there's lots of reasons for it. But I will. And you're going to see that too, because as soon as it gets nicer and I'm not bundled up like this, I am more often than not outside, out and about, especially in nature. So that's going to be shared with you as well. So a lot of the things that you need to realize is everything is a process, like everything else in life. But if you make your process a reality and start putting the steps in towards it with community and with people who care, i.e. start with me because I'm right here and I can help be the catalyst for you in that, you gradually start to add on more things, and you're going to care more and more and more, help more and more and more, love more and more and more, and then you'll start to realize all those other things, they go away. Because if you're over here, we'll say you're over here actually, if you're over here up on your high horse doing your thing, what does it matter what everyone else is doing or saying? You're already here doing it. Did you ever think about that? Again, if you started here and you worked your way up to here even, what does it matter what people are doing here? You need to be comfortable with being you, and you need to be comfortable with doing what works for you. So let's start doing it and love being uncomfortable, because I will be completely honest, the uncomfortableness will go away. It's like nerves when you go into public speaking. The more you do it, the less nervous you get. The more you practice something, the more you begin to memorize it. The more you start to accept that certain things have happened and your past is what your past is and you are who you are, you're gonna start to learn that there's acceptance there as well. And you honor both parts of it. You honor the beauty of you and you honor what truly makes you unique. And that's the humanistic part. So, super exciting stuff coming. There's going to be a lot more posts happening, especially for like out and about stuff, because I want to go to a lot of different places that are more like my vibe and then start filming some stuff in there as well. But again, more to come. I just started classes this week. That's why the delay as well, because I have classes now on Tuesday night and I also have classes on Wednesday night. So I figured you wanted more of a refreshed version of me instead of one where I'm looking at you like, oh my God, guys, I'm so exhausted. So Thursday nights seem to be the best night from now on. I'm hoping Thursday nights work for you guys as well. I'm actually kind of liking it better because then I could be like, oh my God, aren't you excited? Friday's tomorrow, yay! So I like that a little bit better. We're gonna give it a try. We're gonna see how it goes and we're gonna grow together. So don't forget, every week, stronger and stronger. And do a little at a time. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Take something you're struggling with and flip it and make it into something positive. Take something you're struggling with and flip it and see how you can make a coping skill out of it. Take a mindset that you see that is an automatic coming to your head the moment you happen to see, I don't know, Susie Q from down the street. Notice it. Like say, oh my God, wait, what is it about Susie Q that drives me crazy and why do I feel this way? Is it her or is it me? And start to work on it. It doesn't mean you have to tell everyone about it. They don't even need to know you're doing it. All you need to know is you're doing it. And all you need to know is that you are doing it for you because you're important. You're not doing it for them. It's you. And remember, kind people like kind people, and good people find good people. Bad people eventually just fall out. And that's exactly what you have to kind of think of when you think about mindset shifts. If I keep working so hard on the positive sides and those negatives, flipping them into a positive coping skill or a struggle that I'm happening to come up with that I'm realizing I can't figure out why this is going on, grab some help. Lean on a friend. Phone a friend. Did you ever hear that game? Do that. You don't always have to go the extra level of making it extreme. Little by little by little, and I will help you get there. I promise. I am like this cheat sheet in a test that you would always want to have but never take because you're super nervous. That's me. Some of the best people in the world are just starting to realize like, I had this magic the entire time. Why was I bottling it up? That's you, my friend. So be you, be extremely you, be unique, and continue it because not only will you be you, you will be shining up there, and then you will start to attract the rest of your tribe that is just like you. And that's what you want for moving forward. You want kindness, you want a good life, you want happy life. You want to be able to take real life situations and flip them into something that you can work with and create something with. And I always do something like this because I'm acting like, well, what's up there? But you know what I'm saying. Make your life the best one so that you don't want to revert back into anything else negative to escape it. If you escape, you want to do it positively. Go away. Go on an island. Go somewhere physically. Mentally, you don't want to escape that way. So, cannot tell you how much I appreciate everyone. I am going to work on these collabs. I'm actually meeting up with some people next week. We should have everything out and probably up and running within like the next month or so, I want to say. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for Sundays at 7 o'clock with Amy Arvary. I will definitely repost it onto my page for those of you who want to join, and I will also be a part of that group as well. Super excited about that. And just keep on sharing. Go to the socials. Make sure you're on there. You want to catch me on replay? Go to YouTube for that because I think that's where these are going to probably end up living because Facebook will drop them after a certain amount of time. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep changing. We're going to keep shifting. And we're going to keep getting better and better and better. And honestly, up and up and up, because that is exactly what you do when you stay kind, positive, and you stay authentic. So be you, and I will talk to everyone next week. Bye.